Maps to Radix Esports. They took Skyscraper and Cafe, Consulate as well. 1UPeSport hung on to the first ever Rainbow Six Siege UK Premiership. What have they got here on Coastline?
So starting off strong already, we will be seeing 1UP take position inside the blue bar and also the sunrise bar, a bomb site which has been on the uprise for a lot of teams. It's not one of the most common strategies that we typically see. If I was to pick two bomb sites that most teams play, it would be the penthouse and theatre, and also the kitchen and delivery room area. So the main way about defending this bar area is to make sure the top floor has complete control. Let's not forget that this bomb site is destructible from above, so if Radix do manage to get their buck and their sledge into that position, it will crumble the anchor positions of 1UP.
Heavy defense going down. Something that we talked about with Melons, especially Mira, so good on this map specifically. He needs to be that really good anchor for his team. He has been, I mean, honestly, been good throughout most of these games. They had a little bit of a hiccup towards the end of Consulate, but if Radix come in firing and sort of hitting that same stride that they had previously, I'd be very interested to see how they perform throughout the rest of this map, because you know they've looked the better team thus far. So you know, in 90% of the cases, they've looked the better team. It's 1UP that had that crazy surge of performance, sort of continuous with what we've seen from the online portion of the Premiership.
So already, Tony is going to get himself inside this VIP lounge area. Mirror window was set up inside the kitchen to delay the push coming in from that delivery side. Quick mirror window, again, just to try and stop the start of the barrage coming in from Radix, but they have just went away and just countered straight away by going upstairs using that destructibility that they do have at their hands, and nobody from 1UP is going to be challenging these guys from above.
Oh, there we go, though. Capone picks up his first... Oh, Capone goes down even, so his first death, and Capone has had these streaks of form where either he frags like crazy, or he goes down at the start of every round like crazy as well, and this is him losing out at this point in time. 1UP, that'll feel good for them. To knock down the Slayer of Radix straight at the beginning of this round, give them the confidence they need to perform. Especially killing a buck is huge for your team, as that does manage to delay the destructibility factor that could be implemented by Radix. They still do have Pat on the sledge, so they have a form of soft breach in his sledgehammer, but not going to be as capable as a buck, of course. Not as quick either as opening up these angles and converting them straight away too. It feels like that soft entry is desperately needed on Coastline 2 because of the ability to just use that destructible second floor. As actually Melons, one of those anchors for the team, has just actually managed to pick up his kill on offense here. Smoke does come through. He's actually low though. Kizza is so low on smoke at this point. One hit from death really at any point on his body.
45 seconds on the clock. Willow ready for Fabia pushing down that blue stairs area. That will be a big confrontation, as we are going to see Fabia get the better of Willow. It does open up that main stairs, or that back stairs area, to start pushing down in towards the main corridor. Does get picked up by Kimbai, however. Does equal up the numbers. 3 rounds to 3, but automatically trade it out. And another trade out as Mop gets a kill. 2v2. Mop extremely... Both of these guys are extremely low health.
Yeah, one tag on any point in their body, like we said, and they are down. That means they've got to control these angles in a very finite position. Radix moving into the bomb side. Diffuse going down. Oh, but Mop catches them. They had no idea he was there. Spray some bleach. Swipe it down. And that is the first pickup of the round for 1UP. Yeah, literally got mopped up right there.
So
I need to make as many mop puns as I can throughout this.
Excellent start for 1UP. They had that control of that main stairs area. Losing Pony very early on did impact them heavily, of course. As losing that buck, they don't have that same breaching potential on that floor. Equally, I'm surprised by the main thing that I picked up on Pat was that he sledged open, then he tried to peek his holes instead of sledge, and then go start peeking the holes. Because like that's one thing which I pick up on. I pick up a lot on is that buck players and sledge players, they just open up a hole and they watch that hole for like a good solid 10-15 seconds, and then they get killed from it because there's only one area that then the defender has to look at you from.
You have that ability to open up all these places to work with. 1UP don't run with the buck though, they run with the sledge. They do have that form of soft entry, but again going back with the Zafia. They've got the Ying Also got the Thermite and the Thatcher coming through for 1UP right now, so it's a little bit of a difference. I just feel like Buck works so well on this map. It's something that 1UP have been avoiding like the plague, though. They really have not been using Buck on any of these Buck-orientated maps either.
I would say every map is a Buck-orientated map. I would say he is my second picked operator you need to take. First would be Habana. I'm actually surprised that Radix aren't taking a lot of Habana. Maybe it's just personal preference. Because again, Habana then gives you that free speed. Also gives you then the Habana pellets, which can be used to open up mirror windows specifically, which is the main reason why I would bring her. She also has 2 great guns to back her up. She's just very versatile in what she can do as a role as a support, a slayer, or even a 50-50 role.
Pat actually knocked here. Tries to crawl out, and Kizza can see him with the drone though, but he is around the corner, manages to escape on a grenade, so not quite done just yet. Although he probably isn't in a resible position right now, as look at this, very aggressive maneuvers coming out. And actually Greedy Willow picks up 1 kill already, gets that entry onto Melons, as it is the anchors already being torn out of the sea for Radix. And this is not looking fantastic for a team that looked in such form previously, although I think Pat did get up there, so yeah, Pat did get pulled up. We'll have to see if he can make that count for him. In Mira going down is a big deal, though, for Radix, because Melons is often so good in these defensive situations, Demo.
Pony on the lurk inside this kitchen corridor area. He can rotate through the bathroom and into the supply room and try and sneak up behind the 1UP members, but a very strict 1UP team will be ready for that. But Pony with a mega shot on to Kimbe. That will be equal on the numbers up, and Pony still is putting this pressure on, letting 1UP know that he is here to kill them if they do make one false move. Pat also still has upstairs control inside the hallway, trying to use this angle on that balcony area.
That angle was acute. It was so slim. Kizza actually gets a return onto Quake, though. Again, that rock that weathers the storm for the 1UP roster has been consistently performing, and Mop goes down. Oh, actually, Mop gets the kill onto Capone even, but does get returned as Pat picks up the kill. Pat making that res kind of worth it at this point in time, but it is a 3 versus 2 with 1 minute to go.
This is where the push is going to start coming in from 1UP. The B bomb site is their priority. They have managed to plant the diffuser, and both of these guys are going to be off-site. Castle Barricade was open, so it does give Pat an angle. But is going to get killed from Negman. Kizza also finishes up, cleans up, and that will be 1UP going 2 rounds to 0 ahead of Radix.
You can hear the roar as well in the studio of the 1UP guys now. The bouncing of the heads, the smiles are back out. This is the 1UP that we expected to see at this tournament, and they are looking to push this to a 5th map and actually make Rainbow Six history as some of the second teams to ever push something to a 5th map in a Rainbow Six tournament. What a way to mark your history. The first Xbox players to ever push something to a 5th map in a best of 5, to ever play a best of 5. But and what a way to welcome best of 5 to the Xbox Rainbow Six side as well, because we could be going to a 5th map here. The way the 1UP are playing look untouchable in some ways.
So kitchen and service entrance will be the bomb site being picked up on the side of 1UP. Looking at the kitchen and service, typically we're going to see mirror windows being placed facing out towards that service entrance, as that just shuts down any push. Potential Montagna blitz push can be stopped from a mirror window. Also, you have to be cautious that the VIP lounge is completely destructible, so your anchors inside the kitchen can just get completely opened up above and then get killed from it. So they have put this resources, castle barricades, to try and defend this penthouse, theater, and VIP lounge all together. We'll have to see how the clear out from Radix will have to be successful, as there is a lot of resources going into this top floor hold.
Buck and Zafir coming through for Radix as well. Going to run with the Blitz, the Thermite, and the Thatcher. Blitz making his way back in. Had a couple of offensive rounds where he wasn't seen, but now Radix want to make him work once more. They are running the Buck, like you said, something that we feel is necessary, especially when you're going for a first floor offense. You want to get hold of that VIP lounge, open up the kitchen completely, so you have all of those angles available to you.
Drones will be sent in from Radix, checking out these positions. This is going to be the first droning phase of the round. Pony located on that hallway area, ready to push in and try and take these fights beside that VIP lounge door. Pat putting pressure from this balcony area, but 1UP are holding strong. They have that connector, so Mop can retreat. Kimbe gets the kill, as that is going to be, I believe, the Thermite out of commission Fabia on the blitz, should I say, is trying to push in with the buck.
Who knew? Put Kimbe back onto Ela, the guy that the operator that he's been performing on literally all season long, despite the nerfs, and he starts to perform again.
He's still lurking on them main stairs area and actually going to take a bit of an aggressive play.
Oh, he finds it.
Here, but Pony was ready for it. Might have been a bit of a beat, hitting the board wire, then straight up ready for that swing around, but then equally a trade-off from up, gets a double kill on his Jaeger. And still, Bandit is going to be upstairs as well, so 4v2. Great hold from 1UP, and this is where they can start retreating their rumors. They've done their jobs.
This is exactly what you said. This is what we're used to seeing from 1UP. If Kimbe goes down, Mop finds a return somewhere. The communication between their roamers is strong. They're going to open up above kitchen now. You can see, doesn't quite get the look into. Capone trying his best to try and find an angle. Visits the body of his fallen comrade. Just on the outside there.
So a minute to go. 1UP are holding strong. Mirror window, however, did go open.
There we go, Capone.
It's going to be Kimbe taken out of commission. This is where the buck can be so successful in using his skeleton key. If only the rest of his team were still alive, this would have been a great attack.
3 versus 1 though, and no matter how many angles you try and open up, if the team just avoids kitchen and tries to control everything else outside it, as Capone actually walks straight past 1UP, I think on the top side of the map. He's trying to make a move downstairs. He's got 30 seconds to work with. Starts to try and get some angles through the wall. He's going to get turned around. He's literally right behind you, mate.
It's his teammate.
Oh, his teammate. Oh, goodness. Thank God I've got you, because I thought it was a 1 versus 3.
So this will be Quake trying to push in from this mirror windows. We do see Pony fall as Willow does get that quick double kill.
Even with his teammate there,
looking so strong. Looking so strong on this map. I thought it'd been more close.
Yeah.
But the way we've seen how today goes, 1UP will probably go 4-0, 4-0, 4-1
yeah.
And then Radix will come back and win the game.
This is, yeah, we can't count anything out just yet, Demo, because we've seen too many reverse map sweeps as it's
sweeps
been.
Today.
But 1UP certainly don't look touchable on the Coastline, a map that we thought maybe Radix, given some of their past performances, could perform on. But you need to only look at the stats and compare them to earlier. Capone way down in kills, not getting those anti-frags, getting picked off at the start of the game as well. Kimbe back on his roam game where he works the best, and the communication between Mop and Kimbe is good, and they're performing when each other kind of steps down as well. When Kimbe gets knocked, Mop got that double kill. The roaming game from 1UP is back on its top level, and that's what they needed to make work. The rocks were there, right?
They're trading out kills.
Exactly.
That's the main thing that they're not doing, or they weren't doing anyway, was being there to support one another. That's what Radix were doing. In this situation, 1UP, they're looking like the team that we did see take down Vexed.
It's so good because the anchors and the rocks from 1UP were consistently performing. Willow and Kizza, they were good throughout every map that we've seen so far. It was just the roaming play that was struggling.
The main thing we talked about.
Suddenly the roaming gets back to the level that we know it can be, and 1UP looked like the team that we've seen online for the last 6 weeks. Tough for Radix though. Imagine this, you are 1 map away from claiming a position in the finals. Not even one map, 1 round away, as Capone finally finds an entry frag here for Radix, something that's been sorely missing from these guys, and takes out Kimbe as well, the man of the moment.
Double.
Gets a double onto Greedy Willow, and suddenly Radix fighting their way back. I mean, he's on Vigil. He hasn't played this for a couple of rounds. It was one of the rounds that he popped off like crazy as well, and maybe this is going to force 1UP to consider a IQ as he actually gets taken down by Mop, so Mop finally makes a return here on the Zafir.
So it will be another kitchen defense for Radix this time. 1UP looking to gain control of the top floor. They have lost Kimbe, their main slayer. However, Mop is still going to be alive, who has been playing well. And also Kizza on the Ying, who is probably one of the best Ying performances I've seen throughout this whole entire season. He has been top-notch with them Gandelas, with them smoke grenades, just pushing in. He's making good effect of an LMG with 80 rounds. You know, he's pre-firing everything. He has that ammo to do so, and that's why he's getting all these big kills.
So 3 versus 4 right now, though, so Radix can still find their way back onto the scoreboard, although it's not all she wrote just yet. The final page yet to be turned. Enigma here, trying to find angles.
Just slowing down for 1UP. It doesn't seem that they have a clear-cut, decisive way to actually secure this round. They've lost their Kimbe, so they don't have then that up-front push. You know, say, right, Kimbe, pushing through this, clear this out for us, we'll try and push him from that, so they don't have that. Mop is upstairs, He does have these impact nades to open up some holes. He's already done that. And he is going to start looking down and seeing what he can find for himself, trying to look for some of these anchors inside the A. But this is where the lack of the buck or the lack of the sledge does come in to really hurt 1UP after they do take control off the top floor.
Yeah, it obviously, like you said, opens up so many angles in Kitchen, makes it very hard to defend that particular site from the top end. Is that the diffuser going down as Pat picks up on, but the Quake gets a return as Nigma finds it. And now the diffuser going through, and 1UP have got to make that play back onto the site. I think Radix are in a position to potentially, as actually Kizza picks up a member here as Pat goes down, a 2 versus 2. This is up to Kizza, who has been so good right now. He's going to try and force his way out. 1 versus 2. 1 versus 2. What is going on right now? Radix are throwing it with Melons being the anchor finally. How has this happened? This was a 4 versus 2.
And they've literally just walked in, planted the bomb. Radix took the bait where, you know, you actually seen Kizza. You actually seen Kizza tag the impact tool saying, watch that, you'll get a kill. And that's exactly what happened. I would say Nigma, what a great support player in that situation, knowing that, okay, Kizza's told me the IGL told me, watch this hole, you'll get a kill. That's exactly what happened. Radix just played into the hands of 1UP.
How did Radix lose the bomb site with a 4 versus 2?
They had a mirror window and everything to cover that. I said you have a mirror window on that area to cover that server's entrance. It would have been because Mop had actually opened up above that, so then they couldn't play behind that, fearing that Mop would just kill them as soon as they tried it.
I don't know how that happened. They've
actually pulled off that round. I have no idea how they've done it.
Unbelievable from 1UP. It shows a team in crazy form. A 5-0 sweep here, I think, would put Radix right into the dirt. And that would be a very, very messy climb back up.
So the first penthouse and theater defense inside this game. 1UP will be going upstairs. The main way to defend this penthouse and theater is to have a mirror window located facing in towards that bedroom area, because of course that mirror window, which I'd imagine we'll see Nigma place down very shortly, that then gives complete line of sight to the bathroom drop, to that main door outside the Hall of Fame, to the window as well, and also you can't see an angle onto the right hand side of the triple wall, but you can see the left hand side. And again, you can just swing around and throw a C4, throw smoke grenades, whatever, to stop that plant happening, which the VIP lounge and that triple wall is the main area that teams want to go for the plant.
I'm still in awe about how 1UP managed to pull off that last. I still can't quite get over it. They got a plant for free in a 4 versus 2 and still made it stick. Crazy. And now they need just 1 round to put this at a 2-2 in terms of maps.
For the 5th map.
And that'd be, what a story for 1UP to find their way back from what was an insane start for Radix. Radix literally 1 round away from claiming their place in the final. That was a reverse sweep on the 3rd map for 1UP, and now 1UP going into this 4th map of 4-0. We've seen this situation for 1UP before, by the way. Let's not get ahead of ourselves. It's perfectly possible for Radix to make a sweep back, but they haven't found any entry kills in that first minute. Capone has definitely been tempered just a little. Not even just a little, a lot. And 1UP have kind of stolen that mojo.
Radix have brought the Blitz to play with. We've primarily seen Radix use the Blitz more as an intel gatherer over anything, and you also would argue the same for 1UP. They want that intel with a shield operator, which you normally would not get previously. Kembe is going to go for this quick drop, as Nigma did open the hatch, tried a bit of a sneaky play, but Pony did shut him down straight away. Bit of a, you know, he tried it, you know, they're not losing anything, they're still 4-up, so he does have that time to experiment and try and go for these cheeky kind of plays.
It'll be playing in your mind, though, because you've been 4-0 up or 4-1 up before. It will be playing on your mind. Radix have significantly slowed down their offense, though, compared to some of the previous rounds. Capone has not been making crazy window plays.
Not running in solo anymore?
Exactly, not going in solo. They know how much this means. If they can get at least 1 round, it'll feel like it's feasible to make their way back. And with Kimbe down on Ela, an operator that he only just switched to over the last couple of maps, and finally found some form again, as Blitz and Fabio and Pat move through in the Blitz and Havana.
The main thing that's worrying me for Radix is that they have not taken control of the kitchen, because we have a roaming pulse located downstairs. Remember, that VIP lounge, that master bedroom area, is all destructible from below. If you let a pulse go free range down there with his C4, you will lose the round. And we've seen, I believe it was Pony trying to aggress, but Kizza got the better off him, and none of these guys are in a position to actually go for the hunt. Kizza, he did use his Nitro Cell.
That is 3 versus 3 though, as Greedy Willow gets a kill, immediately returned by Quake. But you're right, they haven't taken control of downstairs, and suddenly Blitz caught in the corner, trying to get that information, just gathering. He's going to start to plant though. This is good for Radix, and 1UP now need to make that move to retake that site. They kind of gave this up for free in some ways, but they did have someone downstairs, so unfortunately couldn't do much with it.
I believe it's because they don't have the smoke from Kizza. They've decided to play him more as an aggressive pulse player rather than that hard anchor smoke that we're used to seeing. As Nigma and Kizza are both trying to put on some pressure inside this VIP lounge where they need to retake.
Right below you!
Right in front of him, but he doesn't see him as he was lying down.
I didn't check his feet. That's a classic mistake. Trip up your shoelaces and everything, as is now Kizza versus the world. He'll go down and Radix get on the board. 4-1. And suddenly, if you're 1UP, you'll be thinking, oh God, not again.
Can 1UP just push through one more round and manage to comfortably take this victory in a quite dominating fashion, I would say. 5-1s always, 5-1s, 5-0s is, you know, we just completely destroyed your team. You know, you're not beating us in this map. We'll have to see if Radix can pull us back. This will be an even better comeback than what we've done before. Last time they did have a round. This time they have to go all the way and win 4 rounds on the trot, which is hard to do, especially whenever you know that we need to keep winning. This could be our potential final round for this map, and 1UP are thinking one more round, one more round, one more round.
Here we go. Radix on defense, running with Vigil, running with Mute as well. Castle, Jaeger and Mira coming through. And 1UP going to go with the Sophia, Habana, Thermite, Sledge and Thatcher.
Interesting pickup from Radix with the Mute. We did see a bit of Mute play coming out inside Cafe, of course. But Mute for Coastline, I'm curious to see where he's actually going to use them. I'm seeing primarily just hunkering down these main doors, these windows that 1UP could possibly push from. But if Radix know that where 1UP pushed last time, it was just a complete upstairs take and then pushing in from that service entrance with Thingandales, which actually 1UP are not taking this time, so they were possibly expecting a different bomb site hold, maybe a penthouse, so they brought the Habana and Thermite just in case they need both.
Coming in through main entrance here, 1UP coming from A side. Again, they need just one round to put this all the way to a full best-of-5 series, which would be quite the story for our first best-of-5 in Xbox Rainbow Six history. And only the second best-of-5 that Rainbow Six has ever seen. And both of them might have gone to 5 series, 5 games.
So 1UP have started their approach on this top floor. Kimbe on the sledge, getting in through that bathroom drop hatch as well. Is also going to be located on that main double window, as they do have some soft breach potential with this sledgehammer. Kimbe is going to open up some of them mirror windows, just open up a lot of these angles and holes, and I'm sure the other mirror window will be taken out.
Oh, he gets the peek. The flooring, unfortunately, metal anchor's not allowing him to get it, but Mop actually cleans up one. Otherwise, the grenade's going to go through as he knows someone's down there, just to try and zone out something here. But this is good for 1UP because they've got that first kill, and it's onto Vigil as well, so one of the massive Romans has gone down. Look at this though, Mop and Zafir. Mop and Zafir has been really good over the course of this time that we've seen him play, on, especially on some of the wins that they've got.
Great push from 1UP. They knew what they wanted to take. They wanted to take this penthouse. They knew that they needed to open up all of this flooring to get rid of mirror windows, get rid of all the anchor positions, and that's exactly what they've done. You know, you see Willow, you see Kizza holding these flank coverage for Mop just to let Mop do his thing, as Nigma then does get a kill to his name as Jaeger. Actually, I believe that's going to be Castle going down. And this is where the rotates are going to be happening for 1UP. They're going to start putting pressure on different angles now, still leaving some members upstairs using the holes above. And it's just, Radix have nowhere to go now. They have no place to hide. All the pressure is coming down from 1UP. Yeah,
they've taken a lot of damage to Mirror as well, and they actually managed to get Zafir up. So we did see Mop get knocked on that Zafir, but because of the man advantage that they've got right now, they were able to find him, get him back onto the floor, and force this into a 5 versus 3 situation with the 43 seconds to go. The rush will start to come through, finally enact their strategy onto the bomb site, and with no smoke, they haven't got that zone control.
Big kill.
As Kizza picks up onto Melons, that is one of the anchors of the Radix Esports team going down, and Mute and Jaeger have to find a way to clutch this out, but it is 5 versus 2. Stranger things may have happened, but I've not seen them. Mop does pick up Radix. This is now 1 versus 2. It's actually going to be Kizza cleaning up. And we are going all the way to a 5th map